I want to start, though, with an important recognition. March is National Arts in Our Schools Month. It is an annual celebration highlighting the vibrant impact of arts education on our students, our teachers, our schools, and our communities. The arts obviously play a very critical role in realizing our vision for public education, and throughout Youth Art Month and Dance, Music, and Theater in Our Schools Month, we are elevating the creativity and joy found in our arts classrooms and in performances across our state. MSD's Comprehensive Art Education Branch has been working with the LEA art supervisors to map out art pathways that align with the blueprint, and these pathways will enable our students who are interested in pursuing careers in arts to graduate from high school, college, and career ready in their chosen arts discipline. One of those students is an example. Her name is Rain Dietrich. She is a senior at Kent Island High School in Queen Anne's County. You may have noticed the artwork when you came in. We are replacing all of the artwork with new artwork around the building. And when you stepped off the elevator, there's a piece there by Rain called One Way Ride. She is this year's recipient of the National Art Education Association Rising Star Award. This is presented annually to a high school junior or senior who's interested in becoming an art educator. This is one of the highest honors that a student can receive in art at the national level. So I want you to join me in celebrating Rain, her family, and the Kent Island High School community. In honor of Arts in Our Schools Month, I'd also like to shine a spotlight on another example of how Maryland educators are developing artistic talent, passion within our students. Recently, our team got to visit Crisfield High School on the Eastern Shore to learn about how Mrs. Heather McHenry is cultivating a passion for music and the arts at Somerset County Public Schools. Let's take a look.
Music, to me, is a family. A family comes together, and there's no one alone, and knowing that I have other support, and music is just the highlight of it, but it's really the people in it that make it 10 times better.
To me, music means just about everything at this point, because music can really bring a crowd together. We could have a bad day just from when we woke up, and then we go to band and we all play our favorite piece. We may mess up, we may have a little stumble, and then we laugh about it. And it brings us all together. We have a good laugh. We're like a family at this point.
Music means something that's bigger than what you are. It makes you feel like it moves the soul, and it makes you feel euphoric. And it's therapeutic, because life can be messy. And when you're listening to music, it immediately calms you. It makes you feel better about yourself on the inside and out.
I've been here for 23 years, or I'm in my 23rd year, and the Crisfield High School Band, the high school program is comprised of 9th through 12th graders, and then we also have an 8th grade band program. The arts are so important for us here in Somerset County and our families and our community, because we don't have as much access as everyone has around us, or so it feels.
I've been in this role for 9 years, and I'm the supervisor of special programs. Somerset County is a rural community, so academically we are really challenged. But it was always the band program that made people stand up and be proud of their hometown and their school and their community.
Something that I think is very important is to not always start at the beginning. Trying to build confidence in the students is of the utmost importance. So I want them to be able to use that skill in other places as well, because at the end of the day, we're trying to create better humans, not just better musicians.
Band is important to me because it teaches me a lot of valuable skills and lessons.
It gives me certain skills that I can apply anywhere, from time management, responsibility, patience.
It's helped me break down an assignment. If I can't get the first part, like on a sheet of music, you look at it and it's a lot, but if you sit there and you break it down measure by measure, or math problem, you find the part that you know and you get that, and then it just keeps rolling and rolling.
We have students in this program that have skills that are sometimes even better than my own skills, and why wouldn't I delegate or use that? So that's another thing that we try and do here to create leaders for tomorrow, and again, give them the tools to take outside of this classroom and make real world applicable. My successes are their successes are my successes. Nobody can do this job alone.
When I was in 6th grade, I had siblings who were already in this band with the director, and I saw how every concert that I went to, she was up there, she looked so confident in what she was doing, and it was so beautiful and moving, the pieces that she did. And every time the concert was over, I'd come and see her from 5th grade. I'd be like, I'm going to be in your band just in 3 years, just you wait. I always knew that I wanted to be a part of this band.
We become the musicians of Crisfield, and our community accepts us as the musicians of Crisfield. So there's a mutual love back and forth between the community and the school system.
One of the good things, though, is we have community partnerships like our local arts council, which has provided instruments for all of our schools' band programs.
The community is out at every event we do. They're cheering us on the sidelines. They're at every parade. Our auditorium is full at concerts. It's a staple here. I can't imagine if there were no band in Crisfield.
Once you step in that house, it's like all the problems just go away and you're smiling.
Band has helped me, I can say, become a better person.
It made me feel good as a community member because I'm giving back to the community that gave to me, that gave so much to me to be here at this time.
We're so fortunate for the support we receive in Somerset County. And if that support is any indicator, then the future of Maryland schools is bright.
Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent.
Okay, who needs a tissue?
I
have
know.
a tissue for you. I've watched it 3 times, but talk about our why. I just wanted to say thank you to Daniel
Yes,
from our comms
wait.
team.
Yes, indeed. He put this all together.
Put it all together.
Absolutely.
And I wanted to shout out Liz Devereaux, who's not here. She's our Director of Comprehensive Arts. We talked about this for a while, and we're trying to figure out when we could showcase this. She's actually not here because she's out in Carroll County with Carl Stewart, the supervisor, visiting art classes. And I want to say thank you to Lizzie and also to all the comprehensive arts supervisors who we've met and engaged with. It's important that they know that they matter. And I hope that they feel that today through the words that Dr. Wright said, through the work at MSDE, and through this video. And so we're going to post the video online.
Perfect.
It's great. So thank you, Dr. Wright.
Oh, thank you. And I also want to recognize our very own state board member, Rachel McCusker. So she is also one of those teachers that makes that magic happen out in her classroom with music. So Rachel, I'm going to give you a few minutes to say what you want to say.
I don't know how you follow that video. I mean, jeez. And this was so unexpected. I think this is the first time since I've been on the board that there was a presentation about the arts in schools during Arts in Our Schools Month. So I am feeling a little emotional at the moment, but I'm going to go ahead with my prepared remarks. And I would like to take a few minutes to recognize and celebrate the month of March as Arts in Our Schools Month. Teachers across the state are bringing attention to the amazing creative and performance endeavors of their students and highlighting the importance of the arts in a well-rounded education. The arts are nationally recognized as core academic curriculum, but more importantly, have been a part of every civilization ever recorded. After all, we sing before we talk, we draw before we write. And as soon as we can stand, you've watched every baby do it, pull themselves up on a table, they start to dance and bounce. And I could go on about the research that links arts to high achievement. You heard our students talking about it in the video, or point to a recent brain research showing how when a student picks up that instrument and plays, both sides of the brain light up simultaneously, when most things we do really only activate one side of the brain. But that's only a small part of why arts education is important. The arts give us a place to express our humanity, a place to belong and be accepted. And I can't move my page. For many young adults, arts classrooms are havens in a hostile world and a reason to go to school every day. They're unique spaces where students explore not only facts and figures, but they explore complex symbolic language, visual and oral aesthetics, complex math concepts, historical perspective, nuance, and emotion in a quest to constantly improve upon their craft, and for no other reason than to bring artistic beauty to others. Arts teachers don't teach with the intent of creating another Mozart or Fosse or Monet. They teach with the intent of helping humans connect to something larger than themselves, and in doing so, connect to their own individual soul. So this month, I celebrate the young visual and performing artists in schools across the state, and celebrate the teachers who give them places to express themselves, take risks, show responsibility, and work with others to bring beauty to our world. And I look forward to hearing from our MSD fine arts staff and stakeholder groups like Arts Education in Maryland schools in the coming months, and I hope that we can find ways to lift up and highlight our young visual and performing artists and ensure that every school in Maryland has a robust arts programming as part of a world-class, well-rounded, child-centered education. I'm going to leave you today with a couple of little stories. First, this one's made national news recently, and I don't know if anybody's seen it. Anyone watching March Madness? I'm watching March Madness. I don't know, I don't know if you've ever been to any of the college sports, but there's always the pep band there. The bands are already always there, and they are part of the college sports experience. I have a kid who participates in Maryland's marching band, so we go and we experience this. Well, in the March Madness tournament, underdog Yale, in their first round, was unable to send their pep band because they were already traveling during spring break. And Idaho University, which was the sponsoring university of the tournament, about 90 minutes outside of where the tournament was being held, heard about it, and they called their students, emailed their students, and the students in the Idaho program stepped up, learned Yale's fight song, changed the words to a bunch of their music and their fight chants, showed up. Yale's basketball team had no idea they were coming. The Yale Spirit group brought them shirts. They dressed up in Yale garb. They played in the stands for Yale, cheered them on. You would never know that those kids didn't go to Yale. And they were a part of the experience. They were a part of helping that team feel supported, and Yale went on to win that first round, which was a huge upset. And the players at Yale say that they feel like having those students there in the band with them was part of what helped them win, because they felt like they had the crowd behind them. And that's what kids in the arts do. They step up. And it doesn't matter what team it is. They say, those kids need our help. We're bringing our band. We're putting time in, and they do it. And they don't do it for themselves. They do it for others. And I also want to share a little story about younger people, because we always talk about the arts and we look at what amazing kids in high school are doing. Well, those things, they start in the little grades where I teach. They start with the little people, the 4 and 5-year-olds that come into our classroom, and all they're doing is keeping the beat and moving and singing. But those are the experiences that lead us to these really advanced, beautiful experiences that we're seeing from our older students. And I just want to share a little guy in my program. I'm not going to use his real name because I haven't cleared this with anybody, but a little guy in my program. And this little guy is usually, he's not your happiest kid. He's a kind of a glass half empty kind of kid. He has a frown on his face a lot of the times, and he struggles with self-regulation. And he's in 2nd grade this year. And 2nd grade is the year that I do a musical play with my students each year. And the minute we started preparation for this play, he was a different kid. I start out by teaching them the importance of breathing when we sing and all of that, and lay them down on the floor, and they're laying on the floor doing deep breathing, trying to teach them a little bit about diaphragmatic breathing. And he was on the floor and his eyes were closed, and I have never seen him so relaxed. I've never seen him so comfortable. He just laid there, breathing, really focusing, and was so relaxed. And the first day that we held full rehearsal with the entire second grade, which is 144 strong this year, so it was quite the endeavor this year, I looked over at his class, and there he was with the biggest smile on his face. And he was so proud. And this isn't a kid who walks around proud. And he was proud. The arts matter. And they don't matter because of the academics. You know, all the research is there, but that's not why it matters. It matters to kids' souls. So we need to make sure as a board that we're highlighting this. We need to make sure that our arts content standards are rigorous, and we need to make sure our programs are robust. And we can't let the arts be the first thing they cut when they find that they have budget problems. We need to hold our locals accountable for making sure that these programs are available to kids at the level that we expect it to be available. So with that, I would just want to shout out all of my colleagues across the state and across the country for creating these havens of beauty for children in Maryland schools. Thank you.
Ms. McCusker, remind us, keep it in front of us as we go forward.
I will.
Remind us about the importance of ensuring the arts. Yes, Dr. Getty.
When I was watching the video, I was struck by the parallel with athletics and the arts programs and the outcomes. But athletics gets all the media attention. The athletes are very visible in the high schools because they're allowed to wear their uniforms maybe the day of the match. They get scholarship recognition at graduation, and they are given lots and lots of attention. But the outcomes, when I look at athletics and the arts, it isn't exactly the skill that they gain through music or through participating in a team, but it's about leadership, it's about perseverance, it's about addressing adversity, it's about collaborating, and most of all, a sense of belonging. Mm-hmm. So the outcomes are similar beyond the initial idea of arts and athletics. And so anything you can do to uplift the arts as another avenue towards those lifelong skills is a great thing for students. And I thank everybody in the arts who does that.
Thank you. Mr. Greer?
I'm just going to pile on here. Ms. McCusker, you did it. That was really wonderful. Thank you. And you brought tears to my eyes as a former teacher. I just want to say you all got a chance to see Heather McHenry in this video for a few seconds or a few minutes, and she was in my cohort as a teacher of the year. And nice. It was really wonderful to see her again there, and a very pleasant surprise. She's a wonderful educator, as is Ms. McCusker. So thank you for this.